Hello and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Don Lewis.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Always glad to have you, and hello to everyone who is joining us. So,
Hello,
if
hello.
you have a tarot question for us, please go ahead and post it in chat or just say hi and where you're from. Well, we enjoy this unseasonably warm weather in the U.S. And hello to Lucas. How are you?
Hello, Lucas.
And we were just discussing Thanksgiving plans. I have a ham to cook. My husband's deep frying the turkey.
Have you chosen their names yet?
Not yet. We'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll let the grandkids name them.
Perfect. Never too young to start realizing where these come from.
What is a character weakness that you need to work on, is what Lucas is asking. All right. That's a good question.
We shall shuffle the cards and see what they have to say.
All right. Well, the first card I've got is Strength. And since you're asking about weaknesses, I'm going to say that this is strength in the sense of determination and carrying on when things get rough. And the next card I have is the King of Pentacles. And this is about careful long-range planning, especially when related to financial matters. And finally, I've got the Two of Swords. And this represents an alliance. It is an alliance rather than a friendship. And I think perhaps you are prone to trust too quickly since that one came up.
And the cards I have drawn are the Four of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Four of Cups. So the Four of Swords is rest or withdrawal. Queen of Cups is happiness. And the Four of Swords is a situation that's inherently good, but not everything that you want it to be. So I think what I would interpret this to mean is that one character weakness to work on which on one hand is not really a weakness, but it's coming forward as an answer that needs work. perhaps lack of ambition or being satisfied when things aren't really satisfying. Of being of knowing how to make the best of the situation, but perhaps at times when it's not the right thing to do. So it's a great skill to be able to make the best of the situation, to find happiness wherever you are. And I'm certainly not saying don't do that, but also some of those situations that you're maybe dealing with, situations you're maybe settling for, stop settling for them. Demand better and address them. And you'll find that while you have happiness, even with them being there, you'll have much more if you change them. So there you go.
All right. And Anissa is asking for a birthday reading for her uncle. He's a Thanksgiving baby. All righty. You're very welcome, Lucas.
Thank you, Lucas. Lucas says, very insightful and seems quite accurate. Thank you. We appreciate that.
So, for your uncle's birthday reading, I've got the Six of Lamps, which is talking about suddenly finding things out or having a breakthrough somewhere in your life. I've got the Prince of Pentacles, and this is talking about slow, careful planning. And then I've got the Emperor. And in this deck, he always makes me think of the Yule King. But the Emperor is talking about cycles of time, and remember, what goes around comes around. So if things are going well, be aware they won't always go well, and put a little hay back in the barn. And if things are not going so well for him right now, just be aware that the cycles of time march on and things will improve.
The cards that I have drawn are the King of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Six of Wands. And the King of Cups is happiness, so I would say that Uncle should be, in this coming year, overall in a happy position. The Nine of Wands suggests that perhaps he's waiting for something. I think you used the term of breakthrough. He may be waiting for certain things to manifest themselves, but before the end of this period, they will. The Six of Wands is victory. So although he's going to need a little bit of patience and he's going to have a little waiting to do, he is going to get where he wants to be. I'm going to draw one more. We'll call it the Brian card because, of course, we will. We've drawn the King of Swords. The King of Swords represents good judgment. So it says that Uncle has good judgment, at least in regards to whatever situation is happening for him, wherever he's looking for that breakthrough. And he should trust his judgment and trust his own instincts, and they will take him through to where he wants to be. And there you go.
All right. And now Renee has asked for a general reading. And hello, Renee. Good to see you.
Hello, Renee. Good to see you.
All right. So the first card I've got for you is the Queen of Wands. And this is, wands are around our passions. With the Queen of Wands, it's about being in a good position because you've pursued what you're passionate about. The Nine of Pentacles is really being in a good position financially, being able to enjoy some luxuries. And then I've got the Princess of Pentacles. And the Princess of Pentacles says that you have the resources to do what you want to do, even if you don't feel like it. So you should move forward with your plans. So I hope that's helpful, Renee.
The cards that I have drawn are the Princess of Swords, Heart, and the Ten of Lamps. So the Princess of Swords is careful communication. And that means both being careful that everything that needs to be said gets said, and all, oh my God, they got married.
I'll be right back.
Being careful that what should not be said does not get said. So pay attention to your communication. Make sure that there's enough, but not too much. Heart says follow your heart, follow your emotions, do what is important to your emotional well-being, do what is right for you emotionally. And then the Ten of Lamps is self-mastery, enlightenment, achievement of where you want to be. So it's basically saying control your communication, but follow your heart, and you're heading in the right direction. Things look good. And there you go. And Lucas asks, if I may ask, what is the origin of the Brian card?
Shall I explain this?
Yeah, why don't you?
Okay. Reverend Brian joins me frequently on this show. And our format, as we say, is a 3-card more or less reading. I generally stick with 3 cards.
I do not.
Reverend Don is rather notorious for saying, well, let me draw another card, and another card, and another card, while I sit here and smile. And Reverend Brian was reading with me one night, and he felt called to draw a clarification card on a particular issue. So he said, we'll call this the Don card, which made me laugh. And several of our regulars in the chat room were also posting LOL. And Reverend Don was watching that night. So the next time he was on, he returned the favor and drew the Brian card.
Yes. And that is the origin of the Brian card.
And the Don card.
The Magical Mermaid says, you look amazing tonight. Dapper, Reverend Don. Hello, Mary.
Thank you, Magical Mermaid. And it's always good to see you.
Speaking of Brian, Reverend Brian has a GoFundMe going that we are hoping people will help out with. You can find information on my Facebook page for Operation Pocket Rocket, and Reverend Mary's Facebook page, and of course Reverend Brian's Facebook page. So please consider donating to help Project Pocket Rocket.
Yes. It's very important to him.
Yes, let's help that rocket blast off,
Yes.
so to speak.
All right. And does anyone else have a question for us? And I will mention our upcoming peace conference, Peace Beyond Borders, Empowering Communities for a Shared Future at paganworld.co. And that will be December 5th and 6th. I forgot to put that on the marquee.
December 5th and 6th. And that
All
will
right.
be hosted by the Reverend Sir Rolando Gomez Camon, Apu Adban Agama.
And we will be exploring what peace means.
Yes, indeed. Also, on many of our pages, we are continuing to upload the archive of Magic TV. We are currently into the Reverend Don's vlog years. So if you like Reverend Don's vlogs, they're re-airing on a number of our Facebook pages. Not all of them, because I didn't want to spam all the pages full of vlogs. But on some of the pages, the Witch School page, the Corellian Community Church page, the Corellian TV page, my personal page, and we've been doing the vlog videos for a few days, but for a little while. But we've finally moved into where it took on the question and answer format, which would proceed to define it for the next 10 years, because we've got 10 years of them to go through.
Reverend Don's hair through the ages.
Yes, you can watch my hair, which is still much darker when the vlog begins, and watch it get longer and shorter and longer and shorter, and the beard get grayer and whiter and darker again, because it does that every now and then for whatever reason.
Your follicles can regenerate. It's happening to Lucy's hair. She was almost gray and she started going dark again.
Exactly. It's in the third degree book, in the chapter of requirement.
There is a scientific explanation as well as a magical one.
Yeah, but the magical one's more fun.
Well, yeah, but sometimes the magical and the scientific are pretty much the same thing if you choose to look at them in a certain light.
That's true. Now this is about the shortest my hair has been in many, many years.
It's the shortest I remember seeing it.
I mean, it's still not really short, but it's much shorter than usual. And Magical Mermaid says, I remember you said once you believed long hair had a magical element to it. Yes, that is the subject of one of the vlogs, the spiritual elements of long hair. And that's part of why I do keep my hair long. Not to say never cut, but longer. And yeah, I do believe that it confers a certain sort of energy, and that it has a certain psychic power to it. I also believe that when you trim your hair, it can be a way of releasing certain things. So when on those rare occasions that I significantly trim it, I'm releasing something. And This last couple of years has been rather challenging, so I have released that, and the hair will grow back. And I will say still, it's a little shorter than I meant to cut it, but it won't stay that way long because it grows fast. If nothing else, I know my hair grows fast.
I learned my lesson about keeping my hair at least shoulder length
Mm-hmm.
not long after I started practicing. In the coven I was working with, I always called the East Quarter.
Yes.
And we were starting what was going to be a very hot summer, and I was going to be very busy. And just to make my life easy, I decided to get my hair cut very short.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time we had ritual, and the sylphs did not have much of my hair to play with, they pinched the back of my neck and my ears all through ritual. Cameras on our phones was not a thing back then, so I don't have any pictures. But my coven mates said, yes, there are some little bitty bruises back here. Plus, they were dealing with me going, ow, ow, ow.
And hello to Vivian. Vivian says hello from Missouri. It's good to see you,
Hello,
Vivian.
Vivian.
And Magical Mermaid says we need magical barbers. And yeah, actually, that is not necessarily a bad idea.
It's not. But I have,
yeah.
I've kept my hair shoulder length or longer ever since.
And my hair has not been anything that you would really call short for 35 years. Back when my mother passed away, long time ago. For one thing, I miss the tail if I don't have one, and this length will still pull back into a tail. So, and Magical Mermaid remarks that many people cut their hair with a seasonal change. Yes, some people do that.
Right.
And also, if you're going to cut your hair, the phases of the moon can be significant also, because if you cut your hair during the waxing moon, it will tend to grow back faster, whereas if you cut it during the waning moon, it will grow back slower. And I have tried this at different times over the years, and I do subscribe to that point of view.
That is interesting.
It is. Although my most interesting hair story comes from the Psi Team. The Psi Team was a comic series that we did 35 years ago. And it ran in Psychic Chicago magazine. And Vivian says, well, at least you have a full head of hair. Yes, I do. Baldness does not appear to be in my future. The Psi Team was the comic that ran in Psychic Chicago magazine. And the gimmick of the Psi Team through its first adventure is that there were no made-up characters. They were all caricatures of actual people. And it became a bit of a thing in the Chicago magical community to try to figure out where you were in this comic. And there were people who were terribly pleased by their characters who actually were not in the comic anywhere. But we did not disabuse them of the idea that they were. And there were other people who were horrified by their characters. And yes, they were in it. It was an interesting range. But when we started the second adventure, I decided I could go ahead and invent a character. And so I created a psychic hairdresser as a character. And she charged her scissors with crystals, and she would give you the perfect psychic haircut for communing with aliens, because the second episode was about aliens. And if you had curly hair, it would make the alien vibrations, would repel alien vibrations. If you had little spiky things, it would pull them in like antennas. There was a whole list of things. And we premiered that episode, the first episode of the second adventure, I think at the third Pagan Leadership Conference in Chicago, might have been the fourth. And what happened? In walks Chicago's psychic hairdresser, who I did not know existed, and is terribly offended by this character who mimics her almost exactly. It was most memorable. And hello to Reverend Michael in the chat room.
Hey, Michael, good to see you.
It was
my sister, who is a hairdresser, keeps saying we're going to cosplay that sometime.
Yes, absolutely.
She's going to put up my hair in a fancy bun with sticks, and I'm going to walk around with a magic 8-ball or something else and do readings and then say the vibrations off and yell for her to come and adjust me.
Yes, indeed. It used to be said that I had a habit of drawing people into existence. Because she was not the only person that I drew as a fictional character who showed up in my life later. It was very interesting.
Does anyone else have a question for us? Excuse me.
Can it be we've answered all the questions?
No one at all has a single question for us? That's kind of hard to believe. Or are you waiting to see if I'm through coughing? I think I am.
Lucas has a non-tarot question. What is that, Lucas? We can do that.
Have we ever tried tofurkey for Thanksgiving?
I have not. I'm assuming that is a tofu turkey?
Yes. That is what tofurkey is. And no, I have not tried it either. We have a regular turkey just waiting for the oil to be warmed up to dunk it in.
And Reverend Michael would like a general reading.
All right, Michael. Happy to do that for you. I am not a major fan of tofu.
I think tofu is very good if you know what to do with it. If you know how to cook it, I've had it in some things where it was wonderful. And if you don't, yeah.
Magical Mermaid says it sounds okay with gravy and cranberry sauce.
Well, you know, I would make my normal statement that the food usually tastes pretty good if the person knows how to cook it. Except I did once have a vegetarian hot dog. And there has to be an exception to every rule.
Well, it wasn't a very good vegetarian hot dog.
Oh, you had one too.
I have actually had a good vegetarian hot dog.
I'm not surprised. And this was probably 30 years ago too. I
And they
imagine
have
they've come a long way. But things like tofu, the thing with tofu is it's very good at absorbing flavor. It's rather like chickpeas. A chickpea by itself is something less than remarkable, unless you just happen to like that flavor. But they can be made into wonderful things. So there you go.
All right, Michael. The first card I've got for you is the King of Lamps. And this is talking about applying prayer and meditation to your current situation. Next, I've got the Veil. And so there's something not yet revealed in your current situation. Something you need to find more about. And finally, I've got the Eight of Wands. So when things move for you, they're going to move very quickly.
So the three cards that I have drawn are the body. And the way that I would interpret the body in this question is make sure you're taking good care of yourself, make sure you're doing the things you need to be healthy. Make sure you're getting a little exercise, all that good stuff. Three of Cups, happiness in community. I think you'll find that you're going to be fairly happy with the things going on around you. And the mind. And the mind says, in an earlier reading, we had advice to follow the heart. Here you want to follow the mind. Think your way through your situation. Don't feel your way through it. Think your way through it. And I'm going to draw a Brian card. And I have drawn the Hierophant. And the Hierophant says, in addition to following your mind, whatever guidance you need will come to you spiritually if you are open to it. Your spirit guides, patron deities, or wherever you get advice from will assist you. And overall, it looks fine. Looks good. Thank you. There you go.
And then we've got a question from Vivian. She said, my cousin is dying of MRSA. She's 50 in a wheelchair for the past 13 years for a car accident. And I'm so sorry to hear that. She has practiced for years in the craft. How do I go collecting her items as they will be thrown away? We decided before she got sick that I would inherit her items, but her family is Christian. I'm not sure how to go about this. I don't want anything to be thrown away.
Well, let us draw some cards. So I have drawn an interesting selection of cards. I drew 3 cards, and then I drew a Brian card. And what I've drawn are 4 kings and 1 princess.
Hmm.
King of Wands, King of Coins, King of Cups, Princess of Cups. And the suit that's missing is swords. Swords are conflict. So their absence here suggests to me that it's very important in going through with this that you do it in a way that is peaceful and diplomatic. Avoid conflict in pursuing it. The King of Wands is passion. And I'm going to say also for this, he represents thinking about what you're doing before you do it. Think it through carefully. The King of Pentacles is money. So there may be a financial aspect to the situation that might be making a financial offer to help them honor the will, might be just letting it be known that these things have value, and if they go missing, that's an issue. The King of Cups is happiness. The more love and compassion you can bring to the situation, the better off you're going to be. And the Princess of Cups says don't leave your emotions out of it. Use your mind, but don't leave your emotions out of it. It is likely to be an emotional issue. So be compassionate, let the emotions show, still be thinking about what you're doing, and keep an eye on the financial end of the situation. Those are what my cards recommend.
Now, before I drew any cards, the first thing that came to me was ask for them. It just explained that she had promised you certain items and ask for them.
But the other non-card thing that can be said is, remember, you have magic.
Yes.
So do a little manifestation, too.
I have the Prince of Swords.
But that's where all the swords went.
Yeah, I got this sword. But he's talking about, taking care of yourself, honoring your own needs. So my first thought was just ask for them. Of course, swords can also be about communication, not just conflict. So ask for them diplomatically. But you could say that you and she had discussed certain items that she had promised and you would like to have them. Next, I have got the Queen of Lance, Lance being the suit of magic and spirituality. And that says to work your will within the current situation so you know them best. You know what's going to work with them best. And finally, I've got future. And this card is based on the story of Daedalus and Icarus. So is this Icarus who flew too close to the sun and the wax on his wings melted? Or is it Daedalus who flew to freedom? And so that says proceed with a reasonable amount of caution, but proceed.
Yeah.
In other words, don't hang around or you will not gain your goal. So, yes, do some manifestation magic in this case. But I would truly start by just saying she did promise me these things that would mean a lot to me. I would like to have them. And if you are not part of the craft, you do not want incense holders, athames, wands, etc. I mean, that is the other piece, unless she reused some of the family silver as altar pieces.
Oh, there is that.
I mean, there is that. So I hope that is helpful for you, Vivian. It's not
Yes.
an easy position to be in. And by the way, folks, this is why we need wills.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously in a situation like this, if you're in the position to do it, to obtain what you are going to get before the person passes away, is the best way to do it. But of course, we're not always in that position.
Right. But
And Lucas says, can you elaborate on why that is about the incense holders and athames and whatnot? I think what Mary is trying to say, and Lucas says, I'm a Buddhist myself.
So the normal craft items you're going to find on a pagan altar are something like an athame, a ritual blade, incense holders, of which I have 3 that have a great deal of meaning to me because they were gifts from someone. In terms of intrinsic value, none of them are worth all that much money, but they're very special to me because of who bought them for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, my grandchildren will want my ritual tools
Mm-hmm.
because they will have special meaning for them. But would someone just say, coming in to appraise the value of our belongings after my husband and I passed, would they be looking at a couple of knives, some incense holders, a collection of different types of candle holders? I have some figures of different deities. And so, and some of them have, I've collected them over the years. Some of them have a great deal of spiritual and magical meaning for me. And they would for people who know me well, who are also part of the craft. They might also like something that belonged to me when I pass.
Mm-hmm.
But to your average person who's not practicing our tradition, most of them would be pretty meaningless.
Yeah, I mean, it would depend what it is, of course, and who it is, but yeah, mostly.
I mean, if somebody just opened my magical candle drawer and I have a whole bunch of chime candles in different colors and some longer candles and different candle holders, it's going to look like a bunch of junk.
Yep.
To someone else who practices candle magic, they just hit the jackpot. It depends.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And Vivian says you are both spot on. Thank you. Thank you, Vivian. Good luck with everything. And she says, yes, we need wills. Yes, we do.
Yeah, I will just throw that out as a piece of practicality. If you have items that you very much want to go to certain people, write a will. So, and make sure someone gets a copy of it if you think there might be issues.
Yes. And
Yes,
Vivian
one
says,
man's is another man's treasure.
yes, indeed.
All right. Well, we're coming up on the top of the hour. Before we end, does anyone else have a question for us?
And Vivian says, I'm not saying junk, but you know the quote. And yes, we do.
Yes, we do. As I said, a drawer full of chime candles in many colors might not look like much to a lot of people, but if you practice candle magic like I do, it's a major find. So,
Yes.
all right. Well, I think that is all for tonight, it looks like.
Thank you,
Reverend
everyone.
Don, would you close us out with a prayer?
Certainly. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we ask you to be with us and to guide us as we go forward and to help us to see that which fate has in store for us. Speak to us through visions, through omens, through divination, in whatever way is most accessible, and help us to be forewarned and forearmed about the future. Help us to chart successful paths into that future. And beloved ones, we thank you, and knowing you are always with us, still from respect, we thank you for your presence. So mote it be.
So mote it be. All right. And I will add, we will not be doing Tarot Thursday next week because it's Thanksgiving in the United States. I am hosting the family here because I'm the grandmother, and that's what us grandmothers do. And so by this time of night, I intend to be in bed enjoying my turkey coma.
There we go.
So
Right, you'll
thank
be
you
back
so
the
much.
following week.
Yes, I will be back the following week with Reverend Brian, who will pull some Dawn cards.
Yes.
So thank you all for coming, and blessed be.
Blessed be.